Okay, so this thing I'm going to show you how to make a tileable glowberry farm in 1.17. Let's hop straight into it. So this design has probably been chucked around a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I've not personally seen this design. This design is my own creation. Shower thoughts, you know. But this is a tileable glowberry farm you can use. There are big bulky ones that use daylight sensors and that. I think I've seen them from, I can't remember the huge, I think it's Raidworks I saw them from. So you can do big bulky ones, like ones that are high up in the sky, that have daylight sensors and they have a flying machine and all that. You can do that. But I'm going to do mine a bit simpler, something you can keep low to the ground, something that's quite small. Something that only takes up a 8 by 2 by 1 area. That is incredibly small for a farm and is also very efficient when placed in bulk. And when in bulk, it's very efficient, probably more efficient than that sky farm, as it's given constant, not just a single drop output. So when I say this is a tileable farm, I mean this is a tileable farm. There is no redstone in this farm other than observers and pistons. So the way this farm works is the glowberry will grow down 6 blocks. That is where I found is the sweet spot. You could do it a bit shorter, you could do it a bit longer. However, I felt like it'll take way too long to get that last one to grow. I've never really had anything come down that low, but also I don't want to do it too high, because too high it limits the chance for a glowberry to spawn, because you want there to be enough vines. Therefore, there's a high chance that a glowberry could spawn on any of the vines, and that it wouldn't just harvest and you'd get 0 glowberries from it. So the way this farm works is the glowberry will grow its vines all the way down, hopefully producing some fruit on the vines as it goes down. And as it goes down, it will reach the bottom observer. This bottom observer is very important for one reason: it will harvest. Now the reason why it will harvest is because it will trigger a redstone signal and power itself. Now I've not got anything hooked up to it per se, I've got observers staring at it. So the observers will then power once they've seen the bottom observer power. So by seeing this observer power, this observer will now power, and then they'll power in a straight line, eventually powering this solid block. You could do a solid block, you could do another observer, doesn't matter. I'm doing a solid block because that's what I want to do, and also saves me a tad bit of redstone and quartz. And even then, after a while, after every say 4 tileable entities, after every 4 tileable farms, what it means is that 5th one you basically make free by saving and using solid blocks. So yeah, and then on top I have a piston. So by this observer powering this block, the block powers the piston, and the piston will harvest. Now that is pretty much how it works. There is no other way to really explain. Do you want to do some nitpick things though, just to make sure you do get this farm right. Also, I'm going to show you the 2 big farms and show you what you can mainly see when you build this farm to make it even better. So always put the top plant at 1 block. So the top part of the glowberry, the part you do not want to harvest, put 1 block above the piston. You want everything that's going to be harvested to grow onto the system technically. So the top part, never harvest. So you want to put the piston 1 block below that to mitigate that. That's the main thing. Also, you can only do it how it's so much wide or so long, because it gets to a point where the water won't stretch. So by taking that block break, if say the block gets harvested, the berry goes, it would probably just fall onto like ice or a pressure plate, and then it won't move anywhere until other berries come down. It's up to your choice. If you want to just move that 1 block, or if you want to put something in there just to say condense it even more. But this is the main way this farm works. You have the water system. You can do 8 like long on the big system, or on the first system, the system that empties out into the storage. But and then if you're the system, you have to do maximum of 7, because otherwise then items will get stuck. Yeah. So that's the way that works. So by doing that, you're then basically just relying on it harvesting. Now, high-tech servers, that's really fast. However, on high-tech servers, you have to put on its own auto harvest them after a set period of time, because then I found that on high-tech, especially in the thousands, it will grow so fast, and it'll harvest like 3 times, and it will just stop growing, and it'll go back to 1 tick speed. So try and like if you're doing 1 tick speed, ignore this. But if you're doing a high tick speed server, so we're talking in the thousands, or at least in like 900, put in a auto harvest system every so often. Therefore, it will fix them and keep them going again. And that's the collection system. You can do something fancy. I'm not doing anything fancy. You could skip the entire water system, and you could have it so they drop down to that area and then they get picked up by a whole minecart. You could very much do that. I mean, you could tile them longer. But other than that, if you're doing a water system, you're going to be probably rocking it something like what I am. So you've got multiple different sections, all of which have got a packed ice or blue ice, pressure plates on them, therefore items can fly over them, and then whenever they harvest, that will work. Now, I'm going to show you what it will roughly look like when it harvests. So I simply just do that. And then all the items will come sweeping down onto the pressure plates into the hopper. And in my system, obviously they'll get pushed out by a dropper and sorted out into the sorting system. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So, the texture pack, I just want to say this now. I'm using Vanilla Tweaks texture pack. That's how I've got the custom observers. That's how I've got the clean glass, that sort of stuff. That's how I got all of it. Go on to Vanilla Tweaks, they have it on there. Also, if you want to see, get the glass that connects all the borders and gets rid of them, say you put them in a 2x2 area, all the corners in the middle will get rid of and making it a smooth area like this over here. You download Optifine. I'm going to do 2 separate videos doing how to make a Vanilla Tweaks data and texture pack, and then also doing a tutorial on how to get Optifine in the next week or 2. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very fun of me to make, and it's a very cool design. I don't know if this design's been done before, but if it hasn't, you've got a new design to work with. And you can do it in other forms, but I find this form is more condensed and thus more effective and more efficient. So, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.